Hi everyone, I'm Karawa and this is Made Simple with us. So today we are moving on to quadratic trinomial method in factorization of algebraic expression. So this is the third method and perhaps the final method in factorization of algebraic expression. So let's understand what trinomial is. A trinomial is an expression containing three terms. Expression like if we have ax squared plus bx plus c, this trinomial because it contains three terms. Okay, the rest you can read it. Also, if we have 2x squared minus 3x plus 1, this is also a quadratic trinomial, where we can say a is equals to 2, b is equals to minus 3, and c is equals to 1. That is, from the quadratic expression, the general, where we have ax squared plus bx minus c. Remember, where we can say what a is the coefficient of x squared, this a is the coefficient of x squared, and then b is the coefficient of x, and then c is the constant. So take note of this. Now there are some steps we must take before solving any quadratic trinomial. It involves 3 steps or more. Let's say we have an expression that says x squared plus 5x plus 6, and they ask us to factorize this. So remember, one of the first methods we should apply is that, let's say from the quadratic trinomial, from this expression now, x squared plus 5x plus 6. So what we're going to do here is, we are going to take first the coefficient of x squared is what? Is 1, and the constant. The constant here is what? Is 6. So we are going to multiply. We are going to multiply. We are going to multiply the coefficient of x squared by the constant, which is what? 6. So if we multiply these two, now it's going to give us what? The coefficient of x squared is 1 by 6, and it is 6. So that's the first step. Now step 2 is saying, step 2 now is saying that we should find the possible, we should find the possible factors of 6. In other words, they are saying, let's find a number that we can multiply that can give us 6 exact. So let's take the possible factor of 6. The possible factor of 6 could be, if we say 1 times 6, this is going to give us positive 6. Remember, we are dealing with positive sign. And then if we say minus 1 times minus 6 again, it's going to give us 6. And if we say 2 times 3, it's also going to give us 6. And if we say minus 2 times minus 3, it's also going to give us 6. So these are the possible factors of 6. Now, after we have arrived at the possible factor of 6, we now going to consider again this possible factor. From the possible factor, which two number can we add that can give us 5? Because we want to eliminate this 5x. We want to find two number that can replace 5x. So among these possible factor, 1 and 6 minus 1 and minus 6 minus 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, which of this number can we add that can give us 5? And that same number, when we multiply, can give us 6. Remember, we have already done with the multiplication. So if we check 1 plus 6, this is going to give us 7. So this is not working. Minus 1 minus 6 is also going to give us minus 7. So this is not working. But if we say 2 plus 3, this is working. 2 plus 3 will give us 5, and this same 2 times 3 would also give us 6. So let me place it here for you to understand. 2 times 3 will give us 6. And if we say again, 2 plus 3 will give us 5. Remember, we have to eliminate the 5x. So since this gives us 5, so this is going to be now, instead of 5x now, it's going to be 2x plus 3x. So this is what the expression is going to be now. Now, since we have done this, what next again? Step 3 now is saying that we should replace 5x by this expression, 2x plus 3x in the given expression. Then after which we factorize. From there we factorize using the group method. We factorize using the group method. So now let's proceed. Remember, the original expression is saying that we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. This was the expression that was given to us. Now, after we have applied the 3 steps, now the expression that is going to be, remember, the first step is saying that we should multiply the first and the coefficients of the x squared and the constant. We have done that, and from this same constant we find the factors of this constant, which is 6, and from that factor we find 2 numbers that when we add or subtract can give us positive 5, which also we have done with that. So once we have dealt with this 5x, so we are going to replace that number we arrive from the factors of 6. Instead of 5x, we are going to replace it with the number, because when we add that number, it's going to give us 5x again. So the replacement is going to be now x squared plus what? Remember, this is what we arrive at, 2x plus 3x. So this is what we are going to replace now. It's going to be 2x plus 3x plus 6. So this is now the expression. And now we have arrived at what? Method of grouping. Remember, method of grouping is saying we only deal with the method of grouping when there's 4 terms. When there's 3 terms, you use this trinomial method. That if it has what? A square. This is what makes it quadratic, because of the square. So once we arrive at 4 terms, we are now using the group method. Remember, go back and watch from the first video onto this if you want to understand how we deal with the grouping method and the common factor. It's a continuous process, because in solving we are going to be dealing with this method again to arrive at the answer. So if we group now, this is going to be x squared plus 2x. This is one group. And the second group that is going to be what? 3x plus 6. This is second group. We have grouped them. Now, once we group them, we go back again to the first method that say the common factor. We take what is common between the terms, take it out of the bracket. So let's see. From the first term, the first binomial, remember, binomial means 2 terms. Trinomial means 3 terms. This binomial because it has 2 terms. Now, from these 2 terms, let's ask ourselves which variable or which number that is common between the 2 terms, that you can see from the first term and you can also see from the second term. In this case, obviously we can see x here and then x here. So we take what? The 1x. We take x out. We cannot say 1x, but for simplicity we say we take x out. So if we take x out, what's supposed to be here? Remember, this is x squared. And x squared is the same as we will say x multiplied by x. So if we take 1x out, it means we divide by this x, this cancel this, so it's going to remain just x. And I hope you get that. Now, for this second aspect again, if we take x out here, what will remain is 2. This is simple. Let's say we have 2x, and then we divide it by x. So if we cancel, what will remain is 2. So it's going to be plus 2. This one is clear. So we go again for the second aspect. The second aspect, now we can see that we only have x in the first term, but no x in the other term. But remember, you don't just apply one method. Remember, I said whenever you ask yourself the question, if there is any variable that is between the two terms, then you place it outside, and also ask yourself if the coefficient of that variable, or you might see constant, like in this case we see constant. In some other case you might see another coefficient of different variable, but this case is constant. Now you take the coefficients of that variable, which is what, 3, and the constant is 6. Then ask yourself, which two number can divide which number can divide these two number without any remainder? In this case, obviously 3 can divide itself, and this is going to give us 1. And then what? 3 can also divide 6 by 2. So this 1 and 2, they are going to be in the brackets. They are going to be inside the bracket, and then the 3 that you use to divide the two number, this is what is going to be as the common factor. This is the common factor. So remember, I said the common factor always supposed to be outside the bracket. So this is going to be plus 3, right? Because the common factor. And remember, what's supposed to be in the bracket? It is 1 and 2. Then multiply 1 times x here. What you're going to have is what? X. And then 2. So this 2 now is going to be replaced with 6, because 3 times 2 is going to give us 6. So this is going to be 2 to replace it. So this is the expression now. It has to be 2. This is one expression, and this is another expression. Well, we can also notice something here. Remember, this is the common factor for this set, and this is also the common factor for this other set. But when you look at it, the brackets, the terms in the brackets are the same. For this first common factor, which is x, the terms in there, we can see that we have x plus 2, and also the common factor plus 3, we can also see x plus 2. Once they are the same, we take one of them. This is what? X plus 2. We group them, and the second step is the two common factor, that is x, this x, and the plus 3, we also group them as 1, x plus 3. So this is the answer for this set. And I hope you follow this 3 method and follow it step by step if you want to solve any quadratic trinomial. I am Kalawa, and this is made simple to us. Subscribe to our channel if you want to get more videos like this. Hit the notification button so you will be the first to know whenever we publish